pale
mlifanya mazungumzo yote ya kando kuhusu masuala ya kitaifa?
Tulikuwa hapo
mzungumzo chochote kuhusu
wacheni fitina bwana.
Mr. President,
wako na ukaribu wako,
msisome mambo ambayo hayako.
Uwepo wako mzungumzo chochote kuhusu mazungumzo kati ya serikali na Kenya Kwanza na Azimio?
Wewe unasema my deputy hakuwa Kasarani.
Ni huyo amesema.
Ni mimi ndiye nilisema.
Sasa nakuuliza wewe, alikuwa amekuambia atakuwa Kasarani? Ndio ukasema mbona aliniambia atakuja Kasarani?
Picha iliyotambwa mtandaoni na inazungumziwa na Wakenya kwamba ukaribu wako
naibu wangu wa rais alikuwa na shughuli Nyeri.
Na Raila Odinga.
Sasa ulikuwa unataka aje Kasarani afanye nini? Na alikuwa na shughuli Nyeri.
Okay, Mr. President. Je, kuna tokota mkono wa heri wa handshake kati yako na Raila Odinga? Waona jana na hata leo.
Allow me, Mr. President, to get to the substance element of that conversation in Nyandarua County yesterday. And you premised your government on growing the revenue streams and scaling down on borrowing. That's what you campaigned on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I am spot on.
Okay. Allow me to quote this treasury data, which shows between October and April, that is last year until April the previous month. Treasury data shows that the new administration, the Kenya Kwanza administration, tapped into loans worth 425 billion Kenya shillings, which is more than 434.6 billion that the Jubilee government borrowed in the same period when it came to power in 2013. You are therefore above by what Uhuru borrowed at the same period by 17.4 billion Kenya shillings. Why the contradictory position?
Yeah, it's not contradictory.
Why borrow more?
The budget, my friend, we are using is Uhuru's budget. The budget you will hold me to account is the one we are discussing. You know, when you have a budget in place, even if you came into office today, unless you go to parliament to change the way the budget is funded, you can't. They had budgeted to borrow in that budget. They had budgeted to borrow 1.1 trillion. I came using the supplementary budget, I cut it down by 300 billion, right? But you see, the train had left the station. So the borrowing was more because in the budget that was read and passed by parliament, it was meant to be more. All I did is that it wasn't as big as they had anticipated. They had actually wanted to borrow 1.1 trillion.
Your Excellency,
which I cut down.
Budget deficits as at June last year for the current financial year. The budget deficit that had been approved by Parliament was 833 billion shillings. Of course, the Uhuru administration was there.
That was a false number, because when we came into office, we found that they had not factored about 130 billion of pending bills. They had not factored almost 90 billion that was meant to be given to counties. They were hiding figures. And that is why I want to run a transparent government. I want to run a government that's accountable. I want my minister and my administration to be asked questions. And that is why I believe in accountability, and I want an opposition that will hold the government to account. And that is why I am against the handshake. Because in a handshake situation, there is no accountability. That is how a government can hide borrowing the way it was hidden in the last budget.
What then will you tell the people? If I look at just the figures of the deficits and how much it keeps fluctuating, at the beginning of a financial year,